Hello there, good morning, welcome. It's the Monday. Welcome to Breakfast Central on News Central. Yes, indeed, it's the 5th day of April 2021. My name is Olisa Chukuma.
And I am Felicity Eziwika. I know a lot of people are still in the holiday mood for those that are not at work, but we're here to serve you and ensure that your holiday is better. Unfortunately, the news from yesterday wasn't so great. We lost two prominent Nigerians, Yinka Odumaki, that's the speaker, the spokesperson for the Afenifere group in Nigeria, and of course the head of Ford Foundation West Africa, Innocent Chukuma. Both of them, in the course of celebration, we heard the sad news. May their soul rest in peace. But we just needed to mention that because they're two very prominent people in Nigeria.
Quite a sad one yesterday in the country on Easter Sunday, and we're still reeling with the Easter spirit. There's lots to catch up on the program today, but don't forget you can join us using the conversation and let us know where you are watching from using the hashtag NC Breakfast Central, and follow us at News Central TV and head to our website for more. That's www.newscentral.africa. You can also download the News Central TV mobile app. Just head to your Play Store or iOS.
It's a brand new week, and as some of you are still basking in the Easter holidays, here are some of the things we have lined up for you just on the show today. We have some news stories to keep you updated. We just mentioned the two sad ones, but there are more you might have missed during the weekend. The morning tea, as always, captures some of the newspaper headlines across the continent. Then, of course, our impact conversation today. Our focus is on Tanzania's COVID-19 update under the new president, Samia Hassan. What decisions has the president made so far in the country that had downplayed the virus?
Well, we'll also have some updates from the world of sports about the CAF Confederations Cup that happened yesterday. A couple of Premier League results. We saw like Manchester United quite busy. We'll have Udoka and Jogo from the sports desk with that. And later on, we'll have Amal Kansime with the latest on entertainment. And don't forget to join us on our timelines as to the tail end of the program. You don't want to miss it. All about the mummies moving in Egypt. But first, a bit of stories from last night, and we're starting in Mozambique.
Oh, yes, Mozambique on rest. But it is the South African president who has gone to meet with his defense minister, Nosiviwe Mpasia, following the announcement that troops have been sent to Mozambique to evacuate South Africans following deadly attacks by ISIS-affiliated jihadist fighters. Now, Ramaphosa did not specify how many South African soldiers had been sent, but he assured that everything was being done to repatriate nationals caught up in the latest wave of violence.
Well, one South African man was among the dozens of people killed in the attack carried out by the group believed to be affiliated with ISIS. Now, his body has since been returned home. There is no indication how long the South African troops will remain in Mozambique. That situation clearly really spiraled out of control.
Yes,
that's
a proactive government, really, to make efforts. We saw what America did and we complimented them. Now it's time South Africa is doing their thing. Let's hope that they'll do it well and get their citizens to safety. Let's move now to Kenya. This time we're talking travel ban. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says all passengers originating or from or transiting through UK airports will be required to go through a mandatory 14-day isolation at a government-designated facility at their own cost upon entry into Kenya. The move is seen as a retaliation for the UK imposing strict measures for travellers from Kenya.
Well, you can call that a tit-for-tat between the UK and, Kenya. Now, the Foreign Ministry says travellers from the UK will now undergo 2 PCR COVID-19 tests on day 2 of being, in isolation and day 8 of their quarantine. Now, the decision could also have deep and far-reaching consequences on the United Kingdom and Kenya's trade, travel, tourism and security cooperation amongst many other sectors and their relationship. We'll see how this one goes. So Kenya having a response to UK's travel ban with their own response too.
Now, some countries are reinstating while some are relaxing the travel ban. But let's see what happens if this is going to cause some diplomatic row or is already escalating.
Just when the UK government about to announce more like a traffic lights travel ban system where there is red, green and yellow. If you're from those countries, you know where you stand. Right then, let's come down to Nigeria. Well, yesterday was all about Easter Sunday celebrations, and Catholics over the world celebrated the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And activities during this year's Lenten season leading to Easter have been somewhat different, if you may, due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
News Central's Bernard Akede was at the Holy Cross Catholic Cathedral on Lagos Island and gathered this report.
The 40-day season of fasting and sober reflection is over, and Catholics around the world are celebrating Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ after 3 days of death following his crucifixion. Last year, Catholics in Lagos State celebrated Easter Sunday Mass from their homes as Lagos was on lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Last year, as you said, we didn't come at all, but this year the number is larger than that of last year. So, and we thank God particularly that our prayers are not in vain. The vaccine has been detected.
The Archbishop of Lagos, Most Reverend Alfred Adewale Martins, shared the message of peace at the Easter Mass while being grateful to God that this year, unlike the last, Catholics are able to worship together as one family. At the Holy Cross Catholic Cathedral, 28 children received their first Holy Communion, a practice that goes back many centuries. Though COVID-19 restrictions are still being observed inside the church, this didn't stop parishioners from coming in their numbers to celebrate Easter Sunday Mass, which they missed out on last year. With the celebration of Easter, Catholics can once again sing Hallelujah while praying for normalcy to return to the church and ultimately to the rest of the world. Bernard Akede, News Central Lagos.
Once again, happy Easter celebrations to Christians around the world.
And it continues today. Basically, yes. Easter Monday is still a public holiday. Many will call this bank holiday weekend. So still. So we want to know how you're spending your Easter. Don't forget, use the hashtag NC Breakfast Central. Let us know how it's been for you since Good Friday, Saturday, Easter Sunday, and today, Easter Monday. And if you're watching Breakfast Central, where we say thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. We will take a short break now. When we come back, I know it's a holiday, but you need to know what's happening around Africa. We'll bring you tea.
And welcome back, still Breakfast Central. Let's go straight to the morning papers. This morning, we're starting in Tanzania with a paper. Well, returning to the Breakfast Central this morning, the citizen from Tanzania in East Africa. So that's the first paper we're looking at this morning. Quite interesting ones, I have to say, Felicity.
It has why data bundles matter. That's it on your screen. And that major shake-up as Samia rings in the changes rather. You see details on page 2 of the paper. I will be talking about Tanzania a lot on the show this morning.
All right, so at the bottom of the paper, the citizen in Tanzania goes, Easter messages stress unity amid existence of ideological differences, says Christians in Tanzania join their fellow believers worldwide in celebrating the resurrection of Christ. And it talks about the urge to set aside the political, religious and ethnic gender differences and join hands in pushing forward the country. There will be more on Tanzania later today
Yeah.
on our impact discussion.
Before we jump to the next paper, let's see this one that says bumper maize harvests in Kenya cut imports. You also see that story on page 3 of the paper. That's some good news coming out of Kenya this morning.
Well, still sticking with Kenya then, East Africa. Since you mentioned Kenya, only fair if we go to Kenya this morning. Let's go straight to the Star this morning in Kenya and see what they have for us. Once again, President Uhuru Kenyatta on the front page says the little known side of Kenyatta.
And let me read that thing that they wrote there. It's a common grumble that politicians' lifestyles are far removed from those of the voters. Not so in President Kenyatta's world. The president has spent millions of his personal cash to support charitable causes in the last 8 years. You find that, would I say it's a media thing on page 14 to 15, or some truth. It depends on if you take the time to read and find out what is fact from fiction.
Look at that one there at the top right, talking about COVID diplomacy. Why Kenya and United Kingdom relations are at their lowest. We talked about that earlier.
Yes, in the news.
Yes,
brief.
Sanctions. And moving on to the Nation in Kenya, still in Kenya. So let's go straight to the Nation. They've gone very religious this morning, unlike the other Kenyan paper, The Star. So the Daily Nation have gone with church goes on the cross. And how about that for morning tea?
Yeah, it said new measures, gatherings, including in places of worship, banned. A lot of persons are not finding it funny, but you see, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there. I'm being prophetic this morning. You see those 3 ladies, they're holding hands and they're praying. It still works.
Yes, sir.
It still works. Wherever you are, you're able to pray.
All right, still in East Africa, let's move over to Uganda. A bit of sad news in the country. The passing of one of the archbishops in the country, Archbishop Luwanga's last moment. So that's on the front page of the New Vision in Uganda. So the passing of the bishop features there. Says the church releases funeral program. So a bit of a sad one, Easter celebrations, passing of the archbishop. Not many people are happy in the country, and you can see a picture there. On the in the compound there, said he was in jolly mood, made phone calls.
Yeah, there's some Easter messages there. Speaker race. Let's take the Easter President Museveni's message. You find it on page 3 of the paper. And then graduation, top Makerere female students share tips. For students that are watching, I know you're on break, but you might want to take a look at that. Let's come to Nigeria now and see which paper we can take on. The Punch is looking at us. The Punch in Nigeria, they have a special thing for us there. Happy Easter. If you can just see it where you have the C. And then the big one is Nigeria's health in danger. Buhari pampers terrorists. That's Bakare Kuka. There's a couple of riders to that story that might interest you as well. Still talking Easter, Oshibajo Govs, others preaching unity, love. That's also, but on the just beside it, you're looking at Obasanjo Gumi recommend special courts for bandits after closed door meeting. That one is going to generate a lot of talking points between now and the weekend again. But
they've also gone for a front page, a bit of cattle rearing there. Says cows grazing on a maize farm belonging to an unidentified resident in Jaba community in Dusin. That's in somewhere in Abuja. So that's on the front page of the Punch in Kenya, and we'll end down south with the Daily News in Zimbabwe. I think that's where we'll end this morning. Let's go to the Daily News in Zimbabwe this morning to see what they have for us. So it says, we had a good meeting with EU, and that's coming from the government. Says MDC says has pushed for new Zimbabwe politics escalates. So there you have it. And also there's one about Ramaphosa rivals plots SA shut down. So there you have it for the front pages all around Africa. We started in Tanzania with The Citizen and then went to East Africa. Lots of papers in Kenya, Uganda, went to the west with Nigeria's The Punch, and ended down south with the Daily News in Zimbabwe. Right, now we'll take a proper break. Go grab a cuppa. We'll be right back. It is still News Central Television, Breakfast Central.
All right, we did tell you we will be having our conversation focusing on Tanzania this morning. We're looking at the new president. She's over 17 days in. Now, the Tanzanian doctors are hoping that the new president, Samia Hassan, will bring positive changes to the country's questionable handling of the pandemic. Late President John Magufuli had long downplayed the severity of COVID-19, and now all eyes are on his successor, Hassan.
Well, unlike neighboring countries in East Africa like Uganda, Kenya, which imposed strict measures to combat the spread of the COVID-19 virus, in Tanzania, though, masks and social distancing were not made mandatory. But now, in what could be considered the first sign of change, if you may, the Tanzanian Ministry of Health last week released science-based coronavirus guidelines, including personal protective equipment for healthcare workers and masks for patients. Now, it is not clear what direction President Hassan will take, but the guidelines which were released have been described by many as a step in the right direction. And we're now joined by Samuel Mfanga, who joins us live from Arusha in northern Tanzania. He's a social crusader and executive director, the Foundation for Africa Empowerment in Tanzania. Good morning, Samuel. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good to see you. Now, everyone is talking about the new president. Knowing the trajectory that the former president, John Magufuli, took when it comes to, managing the pandemic, what is your expectation now that the health ministry has come up with some guidelines for managing the pandemic? It seems like a departure from her predecessor, don't you think?
First of all, thank you so much for having me on this program and talking about the coronavirus pandemic in Tanzania. We have now a new president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, and many people believe that there will be changes in the country. And we already seen that she is taking some bold steps to build her administration. Recently, we have seen that there has been a minor cabinet reshuffle. And just yesterday, we have had permanent secretaries who are it's a lower cadre just below the ministers. There has been a new change. Some have been kept, some have been left to go, and many people believe that the new direction President Samia Suluhu Hassan is going to take regarding the coronavirus pandemic, I think it will be different from her predecessor, because even herself, she was seen in some of the occasions toward the last days of President Magufuli, that she was putting on a mask, and those photos went around and went viral.
Wow.
I think we have also seen some ministers who we are really very strong supporters, or we are siding with the President Magufuli, the late President Magufuli, on the coronavirus pandemic. And they never really took measures to protect themselves and protect the others, like putting on face masks. But one of the local government, Minister for Local Government Authorities, was seen putting on a mask just after when President Magufuli passed away. So we believe, many people believe that she's now trying to build up her administration, but I think coronavirus pandemic will be one of our top priority, and she will take measures.
Okay, Sam.
And maybe do away with the President Magufuli's direction to downplay the pandemic crisis in the country.
Okay, Sam, you just talked about, President Hassan moving away from our previous predecessors' directives. Now, the WHO chief, Tedros Ghebreyesus, had previously described Tanzania's situation as, to quote his words, very concerning, but recently said he was ready to work with the new President Hassan. Now, do you see Hassan, the new president, making a move for perhaps a vaccine in Tanzania anytime soon?
Well, there is a possibility because, as I said earlier on, the new faces we see in the key ministries, like the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the former minister was a strong ally of the late President Magufuli. And Samia Suluhu Hassan has brought in a new, renowned diplomat to run that ministry. So I think she's trying to now to have someone who will bridge the linkages with international organizations and also other countries. And I cannot say that she will not really touch upon the issue of the coronavirus pandemic. So we have seen that Samia Suluhu Hassan now, she's facing a renewed internal and the external pressure to come up with the measures which are internationally accepted, to acknowledge the existence of the coronavirus pandemic in the country, and also respond according to scientific principles.
All right, so, Samuel, while we are waiting for those huge momentum that will define the path that President Hassan will be taking, you mentioned something earlier about her being seen with face masks and some other persons in prominent position. How is that panning out? Is there a ripple effect? Are citizens now, prioritizing use of face masks and all of that?
Well, I think it is. We don't see that in many places because maybe it's too early. The late Magufuli just passed on a few weeks ago, and now we have Samia Suluhu Hassan. Still, many people are still living in that environment or within the legacy of President Magufuli. So I think we could see that happening when we see that she's taking bold steps, because even recently herself, she was seen with face mask once, and then later on in other occasions she was not seen with face mask. Likewise, the ministers in the government. So I think we have not seen that really like ripple effect, as you're saying, among the citizens, that they are now taking protective measures. But we believe that she has been given, or people give her benefit of doubt, that let her build up administration, the government, and have the powers in her hands, and then be able to give policy directions. And I think health will be one of our top priorities, because there's really very strong pressure from religion, especially the Catholic Church and the opposition of political parties. So it's pressure from within and outside, and I don't see her really ignoring that at all.
All right. Pressure aside, politics aside, Samuel, the observers have talked about perhaps there might have been, or still is, a hidden pandemic of COVID-19 in Tanzania. With this administration, are we going to see the true numbers of what COVID-19 is in the country in this administration, or it will be the same from the former president?
Well, I think we might be able to see that, as I said earlier on. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for her to show a change of leadership, and people trying to see that there's a new leadership now, there's a new president, I think she will just have to do away with the past, to break with the past and come up with the new direction. And that's what she has said. We have seen it in a number of issues, which the late president used to really become very strong. With a strong position. He was very strongly opposed, like building relations with some developed countries, because he always saw them as enemies of his country. But I think Samia Suluhu Hassan has said already, now we have to bring bridges. We have to unify the country. Political parties, religious organizations, and also international community, so that we move as a unified country. Because one of the issues which really divided the country until now is the coronavirus pandemic, and the way it was really addressed by the late president.
Samuel, in the interest of time, let's take a step away from the pandemic for a bit and look at, her administrative style. It took her less than a month to get a vice president. And we know that there are some key appointments that has also being carried out. How is this impacting, perception about the trajectory that her presidency will take?
Yeah, yes, many people believe. I think the changes she has made so far make many Tanzania believe that the country will move in the different direction, because all the people Magufuli kept in those key positions or in his government, the late president, actually none of them, even if they had a different opinion, but they were not willing to air that out because of fear of being sacked, because he will never tolerate anybody who challenges or criticizes his positions or policies. But with Samia Suluhu Hassan, the changes she's making is she's sending a signal to the Tanzanians and also to the international community that Tanzania is coming back and is going to taking a new direction and do away with the past or the legacy of the president Magufuli. Actually, not everything should do away with them, but for the things which have become very controversial and somehow have not helped the Tanzanian country because of the
certainly
positions.
Look forward to the new Tanzania under President Hassan. We only can hope for the best, especially her being your first female president. Thank you very much, Samuel, for joining us all the way from Tanzania.
Thank you so much for having me on this program.
It's our pleasure.
My pleasure.
All right. Quite interesting take there from Samuel.
Yes, I like the positivity, the reception so far, it's looking good. And she's come up, the people that she's appointing
Cabinet
seem to be...
shuffle?
Yes, it seems to be resonating with the people. We're hoping that when we're talking 100 years of president, 100 days, I beg your pardon. Even I don't want to live to 100. 100 days of her presidency. We'll have something to be grateful for, that a woman is in power.
Yeah, I'm keen to really see where it all goes in terms of the COVID-19, pandemic in Tanzania. If I'm just trying to imagine if a vaccine finally arrives in that country and the kind of international eyebrows that will then be raised. But let's not.
Well, I mean, everybody won't be shocked. Yeah,
so
we won't be shocked if that happens, because we know there is a change of baton. The President Magufuli
and what does that mean for the legacy of the?
Well, he did his time, he did his thing, and then who knows, maybe if he was alive at some point, he would have changed his mind and gone the part of vaccine, but we never can tell. We have President Hassan now, and we're wishing and hoping that she will do outstanding for the people of Tanzania. All right, we'll take a breather, and when we come back, we'll be talking sports.
And entertainment, plus what's been on our timelines lately. You don't want to miss it. Do stay with us. Right, then welcome back. Still Breakfast Central on News Central with Olisa and Felicity. Don't forget, catch us right here at News Central TV is where to be. Instagram, Facebook. Watch us live on YouTube and log on to the website, newscentral.africa. Sports now, no time to waste. We'll start on the African scene. All about the CAF Confederations Cup matches played yesterday. And I'm joined now live by News Central's very own from the sports desk, Udoka Njoku. Udoka, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Olisa. How's it going?
Very well. And good news in terms of the CAF Confederations Cup matches. The Nigerian team, Eyimba, had the job done, right?
Well, important win for Eyimba, I must say. But hey, look, we always talk about the away goal rule, that they need to go away from home to Esetif, that's on the 11th of April, to get the positive result. Because look, scoring 2-1, it's not a safe ground for Eyimba, I must say. But it was a great performance from the Super Eagles invite, Anayo Iwala, who gave an assist for the second goal. But it was a good win, I must say, for the Aba Elephants. They topped the group with 6 points, so great results for Eyimba.
Wow, so Eyimba topping Group A with 6 points. We also other results, looking at some of them also in that group. Al Ali Benghazi drawing goalless against Orlando Pirates, so which means Eyimba looking good in Group A. All about them getting an away victory. We also saw other results there. Raja Casablanca against FC Pyramids. 2-0 for Raja Udoka.
Very true. Raja Casablanca getting that positive result against Pyramids. And it's looking likely and obvious that Raja would qualify for the next phase of the tournament. And still talking about Esetif, they've been very, very inconsistent in the Algerian league. They are bottom of Eyimba's group with just about a point. They have just 1 point in that one. And for Eyimba, if they can go all the way to the finals, it will be a very, very difficult one, because we know how clubs from this part of the world get to perform against teams like Raja Casablanca towards the Sahel. That is if they get to meet in the next phase of the competition. But all in all, it was a great weekend for sports in Africa. Not just the Confederations Cup, it was also the CAF Champions League, where we saw Al Ali getting a 2-0 draw away from home against their opponents.
Also, there's a Tunisian derby, as I can see there. CS Sfaxien away to Etoile du Sahel. Both Tunisian teams finishing goalless. All right, there. So there you have it for the results on the CAF Confederations Cup. Doka, let's move over to the European scene. It was the return of club football at the weekend. The likes of Arsenal, Chelsea getting the black eye. But let's talk about the one that happened yesterday. Manchester United against Brighton. United are comfortable in second place at this point.
Manchester United had to come up with a stuff of champions. And for the goal for Brighton, it was scored by the former Manchester United, what they call the Man U reject, Danny Welbeck. Got the first goal for Brighton, but it was this man, Greenwood, who ensured that Manchester United got all 3 points. For Bruno Fernandes, who was not so fantastic on the night, but I'll blame it on the fact that they just returned from the international break. But all in all, it was a good victory for Manchester United. Second place on 60 points, and they're about 14 points behind the Premier League champions-elect, talking about Manchester City. But great win for United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in as much as the other teams, Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal, and Chelsea, all struggled over the weekend. It was more disastrous for Chelsea, losing to West Bromwich Albion by 5-2. We never saw that coming. A red card to Thiago Silva. And Arsenal losing woefully to Liverpool by 3-1. That man who came off the bench, Diogo Jota. I have to put that in because the Arsenal fans are not finding it funny at the moment. They are pointing fingers towards Mikel Arteta.
All right, so let's look at the results in the Premier League yesterday. Likes of Southampton came back from 2 goals down to beat Burnley by 3-2. A massive one for them. Newcastle against Tottenham draw 2-2. Bad one for Jose Mourinho. Aston Villa came back from a goal down to defeat Fulham by 3-1. An Egyptian striker, Trezeguet scored twice in that one. And you were talking about the United beating Brighton by 2-1. Undoka, I'm sure we'll catch you much later on In The Game at 10:30 a.m. West African time for everything from the world of sports.
Yeah, very true. Thank you very much, Olisa, for having me.
All right, thank you very much, Udoka. He had to rub it in, Arsenal, they beat us on Saturday.
And for those that don't understand what they beat us means, they beat them.
Arsenal. All right.
All right, we'll go now to entertainment. We have Amal standing by. Amal, you look lovely. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Easter Monday. Hope you're having a lovely, Easter Monday, and I hope you had a lovely weekend.
We certainly are.
Welcome to the entertainment segment. My name is Malkan Sime. And starting off with the entertainment news, now most of us are familiar with Olalemikon, but Bashir is also professionally known as Lakon. Now, Lakon, for those who don't know him, Lakon is someone who came into the limelight when he participated and also won the 5th season of Big Brother Nigeria. And since then, he has come out with different songs. He's well known for his song called Fierce, where he collaborated with Reminisce and Chinko Ikun, who are both very great Nigerian rappers. And he recently came out to announce that he's set out to release his debut album, which is called Shall We Begin, on the 30th of April 2021. And I'm guessing all his fans, Nigerians and his fans all over the world, are excited. And honestly speaking, so I can't wait to listen to the body of art he's going to put out. He has been a promising artist. He's very talented. So it's just nice to see him put together work and see that people are excited. The track list looks amazing. So we definitely, I also can't definitely wait to listen to the body of work that he's about to put out.
All right, so good one for Lakon, Big Brother Nigeria winner from last year.
He's been making efforts, really, unlike previous folks that won the Big Brother Nigeria. He is trying very hard not to waste all that money. There are some we don't hear from anymore. I don't know what's happening with them. Even Efe, he was into music at some point. And then we've not heard of from him for a while.
It is like that. All right, what's up next?
Still on musicians. Now, there was chaos on social media on the 1st of April 2021, which, we all felt like was Fool's Day. But this in particular, we did not take as a Fool's Day prank. And because a track list of Jay-Z's new album hit Twitter, in the early hours of the day, news that Jay-Z was going to release an African-themed album called Ascension came out. And it made sense, given that today is Ascension Day, it kind of made sense the time at which it came out. And rappers like Olamide, Nasty C, Sarkodie was supposed to be on this album. And we had Africans in general excited to see their people on a Jay-Z album. It was a big thing. But sadly, this has been confirmed as an April Fool's prank. It's not... What? Yeah, it's not happening. I was so excited already. I want to see Jay-Z and Olamide on an album, but we can only pray that this prank actually turns into something actually real really soon, because I would like to hear that, Obidi Bombebe and, Jay-Z, something like that. I think it would be...
And let me just bust your bubble. That will be too much of an overkill in my thinking. Beyonce has an African-themed album, and then we're going to have Jay-Z rub it in. Don't we have other people that will do an African-themed album?
I mean, I'm
just being a hater right now.
I feel like Beyonce was pop. Now Jay-Z's would be rap, so it kind of makes sense that...
I'm just being a hater. Whatever, so long as it bless us with good music, we're good. I'm a fan of both of them.
So Jay-Z, please just help our lives. Now, sadly, in very, very sad news, on Friday, a story broke that legendary rapper DMX has been hospitalized and is currently on life support. The rapper actually suffered a heart attack on Friday due to a drug overdose at around 11 p.m. at his home, and he was taken via ambulance to a local hospital, and he's currently still on a ventilator, which is very sad. People have shown their support for him, which is a great thing. I mean, it's DMX. People have shown his support for him. We had the Rough Riders motorcyclists that parked outside his hospital and were, playing his music to show support. I guess that helps somehow. But, we can only wish him a quick and speedy recovery, because, we have lost enough people in 2020 and 2021 combined. We can't afford, to lose another person, honestly.
Wow. We certainly can't. The other day I was singing along as I was driving. I even recorded it. I'm going to post it on social media later today. Stop. 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 Hey. So we wish him a
Are you not Rough Riders on the breakfast program?
Yes, we love us some DMX. Have you listened to that guy's birthday song? I used to play it on a repeat when I was on radio every single morning. Some people say, please play something else. I'm like,
now I know Felicity is a fan of it.
Oh, so do I.
I am. All right, we wish him all the best. Well, thank you very much, Amal, for giving us the latest information, and we wish DMX speedy recovery out there in hospital. Right then, still Breakfast Central. Let's move straight to what's been on our timeline lately. Are we starting with yours?
Oh, yes. Okay. I just wanted to watch this and then just laugh with me. Yeah. It was fun to bring it to you. That's the part that got me. It's gonna cost you $20 to cancel your order. If you don't know, then please follow that handle and watch all the fun things.
Yeah,
But by the way, ask me my name.
What's your name?
My name is Felicity Hunanya Uremune Baby Felikonko Feliwa.
Are you serious?
Fefe. What's the other one? Ihus. When my mom wants to get something, that's a special name. My Abinto.
I just can't get enough of Diego. He's one of the funniest
so
Muppets out there.
You should try it. Think of all the names that people have ever given to you and then reel it out. Yours will be as long as Diego.
All right. We're still on right here on Breakfast Central. We're talking about what's been on our timeline lately. Let's go straight to mine. Quite an interesting tweet because, yes, it was an interesting one on Saturday night out there in Egypt, in Cairo, because, yes, the mummies were on the move. The Egyptian mummies. Yes, there you have it.
Very beautiful sight.
They transferred Egyptian mummies from Egypt Museum to a new museum, which is Egyptian civilization in luxurious procession, befitting of the splendor of Egyptian history. Let's, really feel all that buzz. All right, so there you have it. The Egyptian mummies were being transferred from one museum to the other. It was a splendor. You can tell the government has spent a lot of money. It was broadcast live on television out there in Egypt. And there's lots to talk about the mummies, from the ancient mummies of something BC were being moved.
Oh, yes. I used to be a fan. I used to read a lot about Egyptian civilization. Yeah. And I'm not kidding. It's fascinating.
Really splendid
If you're not a fan, please.
Yeah, the roads were paved, the coffins were oxygen, laden. So it nothing spoils as they're moving all the bodies. But there's a lot of controversy about, superstition. When you go and dig grave, things that happen.
I guess maybe that's part of the reason that they're having that celebration. It's looking so beautiful, but there must be a cultural background.
People are saying they shouldn't have done it. Maybe that's what blocked the Suez Canal. That's what caused things that happen. These things.
Please. I guess that's where we wrap things up this morning. The week is just getting started. We're back again tomorrow to ensure you have all the fun and all the information you need to get your week to a rocking start.
All right, so that's where we're going to be dropping it tonight. This morning on the show using the hashtag Breakfast Central. Don't forget to catch us as always on the program. We'll see you again tomorrow for another edition. But we're not going to be leaving you empty-handed. We're leaving you with this to enjoy, and we'll see you again tomorrow.